What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today we're taking a look at Dead in Vinland, the spiritual follow-up to Dead in Bermuda. If you played Dead in Bermuda and you thought that game was awesome, but you thought to yourself, you know, this game would be more awesome with Vikings, then this is pretty much a game that I think is going to be up your alley. There's a lot of RNG and a lot of randomness involved, just like there was in Dead in Bermuda. But at the same time, it's still a looker of a game. It looks great, and it's a lot of fun to play, so we're going to be checking it out. I don't know if this is going to be a longer series or not. I know when we did Dead in Bermuda, I did the entire game until we beat it. But we'll kind of take this one by ear. And so anyways, this is not my first playthrough. I've actually played the first couple bits of the game. I almost said hours, but I think it was like the first 30 minutes or so we could get things going and I would understand how things worked without getting into too much trouble. Let's go ahead and we will name our game Splattercat. There we go, that's perfect. It's functional, it's on the nose, it does what it needs to do. So as far as the game is concerned, we have survival mode, we have extreme mode, which makes everything worse. You get less XP, you get more stress, you get more depression, you get less fulfilling food. Or you can go on nice vacation, which does the opposite thing. It makes all your beneficial effects way better and all your negative effects way diminished. We're going to play on the normal mode for right now. I'm going to get rid of the tutorial because I already know how to play the game. I don't need anything to help me out right there. And I'll just kind of explain it to you along the way because that tends to make for good video footage. Yay! Let's get started.
I've always had simple needs. A roof. A family. A peaceful life. But, like the Skalds sing, you can't always get what you want. And what the gods gave me was fire and steel.
Kill the bastard!
They screamed. Luckily, we were warned in time. I can't forget the tears of my beloved Bloodwed when they burned down our house. Our memories. I yelled, "Drop these bags and row if you want to live." We barely escaped on a stolen boat, with no map and no destination. They didn't bother to follow us. No turning back. We were exiled. This is how our miserable journey began. We drifted for days. Depressed, hungry, lost. We thought we had reached the end of the world. When the gods sent us the most terrible storm, our fate was decided. Death, oblivion. Then, we saw it, coming out of nowhere. Salvation? Or Loki's dirty tricks? The gods are playing with us. But I just know that we must survive.
Bloodwood, Kari, Moira, where are you? We're here, honey, and we're fine. Odin be praised. The All-Father hasn't completely abandoned us, it seems. I wouldn't have bet on it, considering the last turn of events. Kari, are you alright, my child? Yeah, Mom, I'm great. Our home burned, Njord's best storm in our asses, and Dad's perfect landing on the sharp rocks of an unknown island. That's a perfect day. So we can joke with her, we can comfort her, or we can scold her. Let's go with, so Bloodwed is your wife, Moira I think is your wife's sister if I remember correctly, and then Eric is your character. Or I guess you don't really play a character. Eric is the father, Bloodwed is the wife, and then Moira is basically the aunt, is the way that the whole thing goes. Let's go ahead and joke with her. In our misery, we can be thankful that we didn't get Nord's rod up our asses. Believe me, honey. Ugh, gross. I'm gonna throw up. Yeah, well, that's cute and all, but what do we do now? You have any idea where we are, Eric? No, we drifted far to the west over many days to the end of the world as we know it. Never heard of an island that far to the west. I don't think any Norseman ever went there. We should explore the vicinity and see if we can find someone that could help us. I hope that someone doesn't turn out to be a frost giant, or worse. We'll see. The family, still disoriented by the shipwreck, started to look around. They decided to walk away from the sad remains of their ship and to explore the woods. The forest was silent as themselves. The atmosphere was getting tense when... Look, over there! A track. Kari rushed to take the path, and the others followed her. They continued like this for almost an hour when they finally found the end of the path, outside the forest. A wooden shack just here. Doesn't seem to be inhabited, though. Let's look for survivors. You look around for a while when you find 3 piles of dusty bones. One of them has a big hole in his skull. Here they are. They're trepanning enthusiasts. Depression for everyone! Yay! Depression all around. Someone passed that jug of depression. Who do you think they were? Who cares? They're dead now. Maybe they shipwrecked on the island like us long ago? How do you figure they died? They didn't die in their beds. They died at the same time, more or less. This one got his skull smashed by a blunt weapon, and there must have been a struggle here. Is the island inhabited? Well, there were 3 people living on this island at some time, so we can hope that there are more. But we can't really be sure. We'll be sure when we've explored all of the island. So what do you want to do now? Well, now we'll try our best to survive. There's no hope of turning back home, only fire and steel await there. So we gotta start a new life here. It may be a land of new possibilities for us, as long as we stick together. I'm thankful to Frigg to be able to endure this hardship with my husband, my dear sister, and my daughter. Yay, loving feelings. Everybody be squishy all around. Everybody love each other. Sentimentality. Without my family, I wouldn't have the will to fight and live. We're here for you, sister. Always. But I still hope this cursed island is inhabited. Time is going to be really, really long if it's just the 4 of us. And we'll need husbands if we want to repopulate the island. Right, Kari? Oh, no way. Not ever. You can stay in bed with your dirty dreams. I'm going to explore the island and make it mine. Listen, everyone. Now is not the time for jokes. We still have plenty to do if we want to survive. We still have enough potable water for a few days if we ration ourselves, but we can't really rely on that. I found 2 big barrels that we can use as containers for water. Pow. Done. 2 big barrels full. Don't forget, you can't drink water that comes from the rivers before boiling it. You'll be sick to death. So that means we need to build a fire. We need to build it quickly. I only have 1 fire mushroom left, but here, you take it. Good. We'll need to build a lot of things if we want to settle here. I'll set up a workshop with a few tools where we can work quietly. But we'll need resources too. Wood, stone, ropes. We can scavenge wood from the ship for now. We still had a bit of food left on it too. We should probably go fetch it. Yeah, but it won't last long. We can't rely on that too much. I looked around and found some things we could use. Check it out. So there's 15 wood right there. Not too bad. We got 5 ropes being added to the stockpile. We got a little bit of stone. Okay. Good job, Kari. We should explore the surroundings some more. We may find food, resources, and whatnot. They did a really good job. If you look at the daughter, she's got the father's eyes, but she's got the mother's freckles. Like, they did a really, really good job actually making the daughter look like a combination of the 2 parents. Beasts and traps, I agree we should explore, but be careful. We don't know what to expect. Let's start working on this camp. We have plenty to do. Alright, so here's our camp. So essentially, it's the exact same thing as Dead in Bermuda. If you play Dead in Bermuda, the rough idea of the game is that it's turn-based. So every single turn, you assign people to do certain tasks. Those tasks will generate certain resources or reduce or increase certain stats, and they will help you advance your way through the game. Throughout the entire way, you're trying to find your way to the end of the game by exploring. Over here, we have an expedition camp where we can start exploring the island, which in this game is fairly large. I think it's quite a bit bigger than the island in Dead in Bermuda. Dead in Bermuda, as I recall, the island was probably about that big right there, like if you just went for that size. It's got a significant chunk on the back end that you can explore, so we can actually tell them where we want them to explore, and they'll explore in that direction first. I'll go to the south since we've already got something going on over there. Let's open up our characters tab here, and we'll kind of get acquainted with all of the characters too. I think that's a really, really good idea. One of the ways that Dead in Vinland is different from Dead in Bermuda is that the game is actually a lot more complicated. There's a lot more, well, I don't remember if there's a lot more in all honesty. It's been a long time since Dead in Bermuda, but basically everybody has like a D&D style character sheet that has like their stats, their skills, their intelligence, all that kind of stuff. For her, she's going to be outdoorsy. She's very good at exploring, scavenging, harvesting, foresting, all that kind of stuff. She's pretty good at hunting as well. She's good at stealth and agility. She has high courage. Her father, Eric, has average courage, average intelligence, pretty much a jack-of-all-trades character except for his actual acquired skills. Physically, though, he's kind of a jack-of-all-trades. He's got a little bit of everything. He's really strong. He's good with constitution. His agility and stealth aren't bad, but they aren't good either. They're very average. Intelligence is average. Courage is average. Charisma is below average. Wisdom is average. He's very, very good at fishing. He's decent at hunting. He's solid at mining. He's not very good at... Where is crafting at? Crafting's a skill on here somewhere. There it is. He's got a 24 in crafting, so he's not super great at that. Bloodavid, who is apparently a Welsh princess. Her skill is constitution. She actually has a trait that goes along with that too, where she doesn't get sick very easily. Like, all of her sickness gains are lowered. She's charismatic, so anytime you have a charisma challenge, you really kind of want her to take over. Just be aware that in Viking culture, where it's a very masculine culture, having the wife speak for the husband and stuff like that can actually lead to some interesting resolutions, because this game is definitely kind of a product of Viking times in that regard. Cooking, there's 44. She's good at cooking. She's okay at beast handling. She's all right at scavenging. She's solid at harvesting, and she's decent at forestry. Intelligence is average. Wisdom is average. All of her stats over here are below average except for constitution. And then the sister, Moira, a suspected witch. She has very high intelligence. Her courage is like, meh, not that great. Charisma is okay. Wisdom is fantastic. Stealth is okay. She's good at healing, beast handling. She's pretty solid at harvesting as well. But the stats you really want to watch out for in this game, the ones that actually matter, are fatigue, hunger, sickness, injury, and depression. If any of these get up to 100%, just like in Dead in Bermuda, it's a big, big problem if any of those get up to 100%. And there's a really good possibility that whoever it is that allowed their meter to get that high will die. So with depression, people will kill themselves. With injury, they'll just bleed to death, or they'll have internal bleeding and they'll die. With sickness, they'll end up getting something pretty bad. With hunger, they starve. And with fatigue, I don't remember what happens with fatigue. I don't think I ever let anybody get to 100% fatigue in Dead in Bermuda. I had somebody die of depression because I just couldn't keep depression under control and they killed themselves. Everybody has traits as well. So she's cunning. She gets more XP. She's got a weak body. She's campy, which means she doesn't get endurance skill XP gains, which means we probably shouldn't have her using harvesting very much. We've also got stiff, which means she's got bad agility. But as you level up, you'll get more of these positive traits. I know right now when you go through these characters, you're like, why do they have so many negative traits but so few positive traits? It's because as you level up, you get more positive traits that'll start to stack this side more in your favor. And then when things happen in the camp, you'll start accumulating these as well. Well, let's get started with the game. We haven't even done anything yet. So we need to decide what we're going to do. Moira's pretty good at scavenging. I'm going to put her on gathering water, because that's a scavenging-related skill. One thing this game does very well is that it actually tells you what skill is going to be used when you put people on a certain task. This game does have combat. Unlike Dead in Bermuda, this game has turn-based, like, RPG, kind of like Final Fantasy-style combat when you get attacked and if you get into, like, war or anything like that. Like, there's actually combat in this, and you'll level up, and there's different abilities. It actually, the way I describe it is it actually kind of feels a little bit like Darkest Dungeon, the combat, where, like, it's super deadly. You can get like two-shotted. It's a little ugly if there's a lot of it's a little ugly if there's a lot of crits flying around and stuff like that. But it's not too bad from what I've played so far. On the workshop, we need somebody to get started in the workshop, actually getting things going. Do we have anybody that's like good at crafting? She's got a 24. She's got a 14, so she's definitely not crafty. She has a 27 on crafting. Let's put Moira on it. Moira's got a 24, and if I can dedicate her to being my crafter, I think that'll work out. Let's go into our crafting plans for right now. What we have right now is we have an expedition camp, we have a shelter, we have a workshop, and we have water supplies. Lumber camp's going to be the #1 thing that we want to build first. Period. No contest. Just make the lumber camp first. Listen to your boy Splatty and build the lumber camp, but not before. How much wood is it going to cost? Oh, it costs stone to repair this. Yikes. Okay, well, we'll repair it with some stone because the condition of the crafting bench determines how long it takes for the job to get done. And so if your crafting bench is all busted up and not looking all good and it's got a weird squint, you know, it's like looking at you like Forrest Whitaker, then it's going to take a while for you to get things done. Further over to the left, so she's building a logging camp right now. Further over to the left, we have the shipwreck, which is down there by the shore. If you have anybody that's good at scavenging, you can put them on this. That's entirely an option. Or you can have someone over here exploring. Exploration is nice because it gives you opportunities to get free stuff if you really want to. The shipwreck, I think, has like 10 uses, if I remember right. You can scavenge it 10 times. Maybe I'll move her around. Is she good at scavenging? No, she's terrible at scavenging. Never mind then. I think she's okay at exploration, though. Let's put her on exploration. We'll put the daughter on scavenging, and we'll put the husband on crafting since he's a little better at it. Did that reset my crafting plan? Okay, no it didn't. And then once that's all done, there's not really much else to look at. All you got to do is hit the next turn button. So there it is. She'll scavenge the boat. She got 4 wood. She got 5 ropes, which is incredible. That's absolutely fantastic. She got 2 fabric from the sails. We got 4 raw fish. And we got some fish bait, too, so that when we end up with a fishing... Oh, we got Angelica ointment. Very nice. And then some celandine ointment as well, just in case we need to do any kind of... You know, just in case we need to do any kind of healing or any kind of helping. He's working on the lumber camp, so there goes the 5 wood right there. There goes the 5 ropes that are required for the recipe. And it is 60% done. However, he's gained a little bit of fatigue from that endeavor. For her, she's going to be gathering water. She gained 6.25 liters / gallons / whatevers of water. I don't really know. She's going to use up a little bit of our potable water in order to get things moving. And then her fatigue's going to go up by 18. So a little bit brutal, a little bit bad, but it's okay. The other thing that we needed to do is we need to start a fire. So let's go ahead and we will light a fire right there. Perfect. We have 100% fire. So by the end of the day, you want to make sure you have at least 1 unit of water for every person in your party. If you don't have that, things are going to get messy. I'm sorry to say. Things are not going to be perfect. They're going to be a little bit bad. So make sure you have enough water for everybody at the end of each day. By the end of your second turn, you should definitely have water available. We've scavenged 82% of the items right there. It has 9 uses left, so we're getting 82% yield from that spot. I'm going to keep her on it. So there's 6 more wood right there. Absolutely fantastic. 4 more ropes. We've got 2 more fabric popping on out of the shipwreck. We've got 4 raw fish, which means at least we'll eat tonight. We have 7 arrows right there. I don't know exactly what those are used for. Like, I know what they're used for. It's just that I don't know what they're used for in-game. He's got a crafting level, so he's at level 25 now, and he has concluded our lumber camp. So there it is. Now we can actually chop wood as well, which will allow you to strength train and increase your forestry, if I remember correctly. So there it is right there. That's the lumber camp. The next thing we'll want to do is we'll want to farm up a little bit of wood, and then we'll want to focus on getting a tavern built, I think. There's 5.75 more water right there. Really, really good stuff. She's going to finish her exploration to the south, which is going to be fantastic. There we go. So the beach has been taken care of. We've discovered a new area, and she actually almost finished the next area. Not bad. Not bad at all. So let's go to the map and let's see what was there. We have an ornate coffer. Let's inspect it. You whistle when you examine the chest. It is almost in perfect state, and its craftsmanship is exquisite. The antlers have been polished and circled in gold. The intricate carving shows great mastery of woodworking. Even the choice of wood is luxurious. Makes you wonder if the inside matches the outside. Okay, so we have 3 options. We can check our surroundings, or we can open it by force, or we can open it carefully. Really kind of depends what you want to do there. Let's open carefully. So we need somebody with a good agility score. We'll have her do it. You won't let a heavy golden padlock prevent you from opening the chest. So we got a 50-50. It may work. It may not. And we failed. You sit on the sand and start working the padlock. It takes you time, but you eventually unlock it. When you open it, an orange mist comes out that burns your eyes and throats. You fall backwards. Water. You need water now. Okay. When your sight gets clear, you notice the trap didn't only incapacitate you, it ruined the contents. You salvage what you can. So we got 2 Celandine ointment. We got 2 Angelica ointment. And the right choice right there is to check your surroundings, by the way. If you check your surroundings, you get an ornate battle axe that gives somebody a bunch of forestry skill. Or like an ornate forester's axe. I just wanted to try out one of the other options because I was curious. Because if you use the other option to check your surroundings, you get a bunch of items on a dead body that's nearby, but when you come back, somebody has broken the chest open and stolen the contents. And so I was wondering if there was anything actually inside the chest, but apparently that was just bullshit. That was just the game lying to you and screwing you over no matter what you do. It's okay. I played Dead in Bermuda. I'm used to it. Dead in Bermuda did the same thing where it's like no matter what you pick, something bad happens. We've got a rest area. Not a bad choice. Rest area might be kind of cool. I don't know, when you can't sleep at night, it's better to get some rest during the day too, and you can't do anything right when you're tired. I wonder if that helps with depression. The tavern helps with depression, but I think you have to have multiple people in the tavern for it to work. And that's the end of our first day here in Vinland, which I'm pretty sure is Greenland, right? Vinland is Greenland, or is Vinland Iceland? I can't remember. It's one of the 2 of them. They called it that because there was wild grapes growing everywhere when they arrived. Must be Iceland, because I don't think Greenland has wild grapes growing all over the place. Greenland seems like it's like really, weirdly enough, Greenland seems icy and frigid and cold, and Iceland seems okay. Like, it still seems cold, but it seems a lot better. Alright, that's enough for today. Come on, everybody, it's time to grab a bite and try to sleep a little. You can start without me. I want to consolidate the shelter some more. You shouldn't overdo it, Eric. The shadows are already dancing with us. Nah, really, I can. I have to do it. It's my fault if you just... Not again, Eric. We've already discussed this topic. You don't have to take the blame alone for what's happening to us. But you heard like... But you heard just like me, honey. The men that burned our home were after me. They screamed, "Kill the bastard." I'm the bastard, and it's my burden to bear alone. Why did they call you that? It's a story I'd like to hear if we weren't close to dying of starvation. We should make traps. The forest has to be full of tiny meat on legs. And full of big dangers. I'd prefer you stay here with me. There's plenty still to do at camp. In your dreams, Mom. Yeah. Alright, well, we have some axes. We have some bags. We're good to cut trees in the forest from now on. I'll let you take care of that. I don't really have the muscle for it. You can help too, Moira. You need to strengthen your body. You're too weak. I'm the sister who got the mind. You're the sister who got the muscle. And I got both. You sure do, kid. Cutting trees is tiresome, but hauling them back to camp will be even more so. Anybody can help, but don't overdo it if you're too tired. You'll just end up hurting yourself. I just want to remind everybody that wood is the main resource for crafting and keeping our fire going, so we shouldn't overlook keeping a steady supply. Alright, so here's the beginning of kind of the management portion of the game. We built up the camp a little bit. Every day, everybody rolls a dice to see if they become dehydrated or not. If they become dehydrated, you've got to allocate water to them. So, for example, Bloodavid is not dehydrated, so we don't need to worry about her. If your character gets to dehydrated 4, they die. That means that they've gotten too much dehydration. Now, we can give certain amounts of water to different people, so 75% chance to lower their dehydration, 90%. I prefer to keep it high and tight and just make sure that, like, we've got the best chance possible to do it. You can do 1.25 if you want 100% of a chance, but I don't know, 90% seems good enough to me. So there we go. They made their roll. They made their roll, and she actually didn't make her roll on a 90%. She critically failed at rolling. Brutal. We can feed people fish for right now. We don't really have much else to feed people. However, that will raise their sickness ever so slightly because they're eating raw food. Later on, we'll be able to cook the food so that it doesn't cause illness. But for right now, we don't really have that as an option. I'm going to keep everybody... Well, it doesn't really matter. We'll try to keep everybody's hunger down for right now. The food goes bad if you don't eat it, in case you were wondering. The food will actually go rotten if you don't eat it, and so we might as well eat the whole thing right now. We don't have any non-perishable foods, and so once we have that stocked up, we'll do a little bit better. So the effects of the night. Fatigue goes down. Everybody rests a little bit. The fire burns down by 27%, and then we awaken in the morning. This is Dead in Vinland. If you guys like the game, or if you really, really enjoyed... Oh, cool. So upcoming night weather effects. It's sunny all day. There's no special effects except at night. Fire intensity from -30 to -20. Fatigue from -15 to -8. I don't know what that means. It's not presented in a very clear way, but I'll figure it out. This is Dead in Vinland. If you want to get the game for yourself, all you got to do is look down below. That's where I'll have a link for you so you can purchase the game. My name is Splattercat. I show off indie games every single day here on the internet and sift through the pile that come out every single week so that you don't have to. Thank you for stopping on in and enjoying this episode. If you liked it a lot, leave it a like. That's the best way to help me out as a content creator, and it's the easiest, quickest way. It takes 30 seconds. Not even that, really. I mean, it depends how slowly you move your mouse. So if you leave a like on the video, it also encourages me to keep doing the series and keep it going longer instead of just leaving it as a light impression series. I will see you all later. Thanks for stopping on in. How you do, everybody, and I'll see you next time.